Following a successful 4-year run, Africa Rising International Film Festival is thrilled to announce this year's 5th installment. ARIFF is a premier world-class social impact film festival launched in 2018 with the aim of leaving no storyteller behind, and this year is no different. The much-anticipated 4-day film festival will run from the 24th to the 27th of November this year. And as the festival celebrates its growth in the industry, they say #HereWeAre, which serves as a theme for the 2022 festival in celebration of the modern-day milestones and the strides made by the African film industry. To share more on the festival this year, we're now joined by Ayanda Sithebe, the festival director. Ayanda, a very good morning. Yeah. Good to have you back on the show this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. Good morning to you and the viewers.
It's an absolute pleasure. Yeah. Now, you know, Ayanda, it's Africa's moment, and how well we can capture that. Yeah. And most importantly, it's all about African filmmakers being able to own their own content. So is that what ARIFF is trying to achieve?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think at the premise of ARIFF is how do we celebrate the African narrative? Yes. We're really seeing it now where people are really affirming. And it's a beautiful time as well, and hence the hashtag #HereWeAre as Africans, where we're starting to own the narrative as well. So the festival at its sort of focus it's a showcase of Pan-African films and really showcasing the beauty of Africa overall.
And how, over the years, have you been able to try to make it more practical, so that there's always output? You see what I mean?
Yeah. Look, we term ourselves as a doing festival, so we are very integrated within the community of filmmakers from the development space all the way to the professional side of things. Okay. So we're always looking at the whole value chain of filmmaking overall. Right, right. And that becomes a very key focus for us. But also remaining very authentic as well in terms of how we curate our stories, the filmmakers we exhibit. As you said, we don't want to leave any storyteller, behind. So we're a very inclusive festival, very socially driven, that speaks to Film for Change, which speaks to films that are about impact as well within our communities. Yeah.
And as you reflect during this 4-day festival, I suppose one of the biggest challenges facing, such festivals and filmmakers, of course, is awareness and getting more women involved in the whole process of filmmaking. So where are we in that regard?
There's still a big gap, and our focus is there as well. We focus on groups that are really neglected out of the space of filmmaking, people living with disabilities. Those stories are not told, so we zoom into that as well from a curation side of things. Overall, the film transformation still lags behind, so focusing on groups that are always marginalized is our key sort of focus. So we put women at the forefront from a curation side of it, but also from how the makeup of the team as well. It's led by our chairperson, which is Lala Dugu. So women are at the forefront within ARIFF.
And I quite like the point you made about those living with a disability. Are you referring to those who are part of the content, or the filmmakers who are living with a disability? Because the focus should also be on those as well.
Totally. I mean, it's both sides. In front of camera, behind the scenes, the audiences as well. Are the audience well represented? When we do the content, subtitles. When it comes to the deaf community, how are they consuming film as well? So those are topics we sort of speak about and make awareness of when it comes to storytelling.
And apart from awareness, it's all about empowering the next generation. How do we go about doing that? And how are we, like scaling down in terms of reflecting on how far we've gone in terms of empowering the next generation to get into filmmaking?
So one of our flagship programs is called the Film Child within the festival. Okay. So Film Child speaks to the new generation of content creators, content consumers. What we do there is that we take young kids from different homes. This year we've partnered with Gugulethu Orphanage Home. So we'll be taking close to 50 kids to watch cinema for the first time. And we've done this over the past 4 years. And the magic that we see in those kids' eyes, them watching film in a big screen, popcorn, soda, it's magical, and because film is an art of appreciation, so we have to start it at a very young age as well. But we also have what we call the Digital Hub, where we look at VR content, web series, TikTok, and all those short form content as well, because we feel like we can't sort of focus neglect where filmmaking is going as well. People are finding new ways of making stories, whether they're using their phones and so forth, because as well it's such an expensive exercise. Filmmaking overall takes months and months, but people are finding easier ways as well to get the content out.
And one of those easier ways and new ways of making films is vlogging. And it's become so popular. Is it also included in this festival?
Totally. I mean, the Digital Hub speaks to all that, YouTubers and the new generation of content creators. And some of the content we showcase there, it's short form content.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who is this festival aimed at? Is it those who are already filmmakers or those who anticipate to be filmmakers?
It's everyone. I think the inception of the festival, Lala and I were going to film festivals, and sometimes we felt like, personally I felt like I don't belong here. People are looking so cool, you know, with nice bags and stuff like that. And we wanted to create a film festival that's inclusive, whether you love story or whether you know, because story is in our DNA as Africans as well. So, and filmmaking is a way of us reflecting our society as well. So it's meant for everyone. So everyone is welcome to come there and just enjoy our films.
Do you get a sense that there is a hunger to tell our own authentic African stories, and authentically so, as compared to, you know, telling other people's stories, or maybe remaking other cultures and other, you know, other movies?
I mean, the debate and the dialogue that's been happening is international studios coming into South Africa or Africa and telling our own narratives, and we get so angry when the language is not used right and all those things. So I think it is a right time to really for us to look at our own backyard and really tell our own stories, because we are what we see, you know. So if we are not reflected in our screens, we're going to get lost, you know, as a people, as a continent. So it's very important that we really start telling our own stories the best way we can and being authentic about it as well.
And what do you make of those who feel that, you know, African stories don't necessarily sell? Hence, they shy away from producing Africans or telling African stories, as it were.
But the success of your Black Panthers, the success of Woman King, tells you that, you know, our stories, there's hunger to it. And one of our objectives as a festival is to really affirm that currency of the African narrative, and look at maybe what is the packaging? How do we package our stories, you know? Or how do we get more corporate involved from an investment perspective? Because the stories are there. Probably it's the resources, you know, but how do we start really looking at corporate government coming together and supporting this viable economical space, you know, because filmmaking overall contributes a lot to the GDP. So we have to start looking at the economic of filmmaking.
Right. Just a quick one, Ayanda. So those who want to attend, how do they apply?
So you can go out to our website, ariff.tv. And tickets are free, so they're opening today, I think, so people can book their tickets there and see the beautiful program that we've curated.
All right. Ayanda, lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Great stuff. Well, to celebrate the 5-year milestone, ARIFF goes down memory lane and looks back on the achievements of African filmmakers. We just spoke to the festival director, Ayanda Sithebe.